Well, how did I become interested in the markets? I would say that it wasn't so much interested in the market as I was just kind of exposed to them at an early age. My parents were both coming out of a financial tradition. They both worked at the New York Stock Exchange, and it was just dinner table conversation of what happened in the market today. It was really fun. Earlier this year, we did a walking tour of Wall Street, and we had this moment where I returned to the stock market, where I guess it all began, and I was able to point out that this is where there was my parents met, and New York Times even wanted to write a story called "Romance at the New York Stock Exchange," but my mom said it was too personal. When I came out of college, I was a reporter. Like many people looking for opportunity, I went west and I ended up in Denver, Colorado. At first I was building houses, and then I didn't really like that very much, so I went back to what I really had gone to college for, which was to be a reporter. And the place that I ended up was the National OTC Stock Journal, which is in Denver, and it covered kind of the Wild West of the stock market. It was a really good match right off the bat. I enjoyed the markets, and actually it was one of the people that I took their place. I said, well, who do you contact when you want to know what the overall market is going to do? Mostly we just followed stocks. And he gave me a couple names. One was Stan Weinstein, and the other one was Robert Prechter. So then, as part of my job, I started following it and was drawn into it. The wave principle, I felt that it really had a broader approach to the markets, and it could actually spot turns, which is what's really unique about the wave principle. While other methodologies I think that are effective are mostly momentum-based, the Elliott wave principle is good at the turns, and that's in short and long term, and so that's kind of extraordinary. You have to start digging in to see why that's the case. I also think a major thing is that it's just dealing with stock prices. There's nothing external. I think ultimately drew me in and caused me to look more deeply. Well, what brought me to Elliott Wave International was really the special report that Bob did in 1985. It was called Pop Culture in the Stock Market. At that point, it really exposed a whole new world to me. It showed me that whatever system Bob had, which I didn't know intimately at that point, it was a window into something much larger, and that's really something that I believe the stock market was about, that these trends in the stock market, which I had kind of watched from afar from my early life, I felt that they were probably much more intimately involved in the culture at large, and I think that's proved to be the case as I've studied it more closely over the course of the years here at Elliott Wave, and even before that.